So,
all right, we're just keeping it real. We are actually live.
We are actually live. Okay, awesome.
Guys, I just want to say hello. My girl Rommy and I have known, how long have we known each other?
Oh my,
10,
I know since probably
2013.
2013, at least. Yeah.
I think it was like 2012 or 13. I met Rommy, and then she became the yin to my yang, which is and then what we thought about today, because Rommy and I have just been talking like the last few months about stress and aging and immune system, and she has her own history of health issues. I have my own history, and we always share fun like tidbits, like things nobody would even tell you, like what essential oils you can do in an enema, all these fun things that Rommy and I, TMI stuff, but all that stuff that seriously we are like, can somebody just tell me what people do? So we thought about starting today and talking anti-aging oils, because I know stress has been insane. I didn't even put makeup on today. I thought, let me just do my morning oil ritual. So Rommy, can you just tell everyone a little about yourself, and then we'll get into some fun.
All right. So Rachel and I met way back in, we did IIN together, or she did it before me. But anyway, that's how we met. And my journey, what took me to IIN was my journey, my health journey, right? And I was really sick. I was debilitated, and I kept going to doctors and saying, okay, I feel like I'm toxic. And some doctors, of course, look at you and go, at least most doctors look at you and go, oh, okay. I finally found one. And that led me on a journey. So I was as I became more vibrant, more healthy, more resilient is really what I was looking for, is that resiliency. It just led me along the path. Now, here's the thing. When I was a teenager, I was getting Vogue and Cosmopolitan, and I was reading in Vogue and Cosmopolitan, but I would always read those skincare tips for 10 or 20 years past my age. Okay. And I thought, all right, if that's what they're doing, I need to start thinking about doing things like that, even at that younger age. And so some of my heroes back then, well, of course, Linda Carter, you may not remember her. She was Wonder Woman. Okay. Suzanne Summers came out really strong. Carol Alt came out really strong with this different kind of living. And I always knew there had to be a way for us to live vibrantly and to live successfully and to thrive. I just have a really deep-seated belief that our bodies they have everything that they need if we give it to them, and they're very able to recover and restore and regenerate on most things. It's not easy. All right. I'm just going to tell you, you got to do your homework. You've got to find out what works for you. And here's the thing, different things at different stages will work. Just because it didn't work 2 years ago doesn't mean it won't work now. Probably 2 years ago, that field that you were working in was not ready for it. Okay. So you just got to do different things at different times. And when it comes to this anti-aging lifestyle, and it is a lifestyle, you guys, it honestly is. There's more to anti-aging than what you put on your skin. Anti-aging is something that I've thought about, I guess, since I was 15, 16 years old. Okay. So, another one of my anti-aging idols, I can't even remember her name right now, but she was the one in Breakfast with Tiffany. Do you remember her name, Rachel?
Oh, yeah. No, I don't remember her name, but she was funny.
Yeah. So she was in Breakfast with Tiffany, and Breakfast at Tiffany's. I have Breakfast with Tiffany, who's my daughter. The movie was Breakfast at Tiffany's. And I remember a long time ago reading something about her, you think beautiful thoughts, you say beautiful things, you let go of things that don't work. Because I know that we can live in the struggle if we want. And sometimes I'm going to be honest, we want to live in the struggle because all of us will go into that drama for ourselves for a little while. And then we're like, this is what happens to me. I get really bored with my own drama. And I'm like, okay, I'm out. I'm changing this drama.
Which, no joke, and that's why I was like, oh my God, this would be so fun, is I just said to my husband the other night, I have to up my game, because the thing is that I know for you and I, we've talked about this in this last like X amount of months. We've all had this time to really examine, like, where have I lost sight of my self-care? Where am I upping my game? And the first thing that always for me is like, oh my God, because I start to stress, I get bags, and I start to, even if I'm eating all the right things, I start noticing that my skin from that Ashkenazi, Russian and German skin is starting to sag. And so that's why I was like, you know what, let's have an open convo about like what you do, our favorite tools, the fun things, because like you said, it is a habit that you get into. But I think that it would be nice to give everyone just a little understanding of what that morning habit looks like, and even what the night one looks like. So you want to share your morning?
Yeah, let me go through my morning with you. So when I wake up in the morning, I have been practicing Ayurveda daily since 2007. Okay. So now with Ayurveda, you have a morning ritual, which is a dinakara. You have an evening ritual, and that's a different name. But these rituals are just practices, habits that we have. So the one ritual, actually two rituals that I picked up in 2007, that I don't care if I have to like leave my house at 4:30 a.m. to catch a flight. And I believe that day will come again. But if I will get up early enough to do this, and I put oil all over my whole body. Okay. I heat up a really nice oil, and I put it all over my whole body. Okay. And I let that settle into my skin. And you can add any kind of essential oils you want to the oil that you're going to put on your body. Essential oils will absorb more easily if they are with a heavier oil. Okay. Coconut oil is a great one, but it's not always the best one for all of us. So for that morning oiling ritual, which we call an abhyanga in Ayurveda, a sesame oil is a really good one. Everybody can use a sesame oil. Okay.
Yeah, so when I birthed and had a postpartum doula that did Ayurveda, that was what she dripped my body with to rebuild that yin and nourish. And then she put all different essential oil drippings for all my chakras to help get stressed out new mom come out of that.
Yeah. Oh, that was beautiful. I wish I'd had a doula like that, or I even knew the word. I mean, my kids are in their 30s, so that was not a word that we knew. It wasn't a common word. So I do my abhyanga. I brush my teeth. Okay, this is a really important part. I brush my teeth and I scrape my tongue before I ingest anything. Okay, now I use a copper tongue scraper. And some people will use a silver tongue scraper, and some people will use a gold tongue scraper. They all have their own advantages. Okay. So, copper and silver are both really great for, keeping us healthy and helping to lower our susceptibility to threats. Okay, so what you're doing is you're scraping off the junk that your body expels into your mouth at night. Okay, it's part of your digestive system. All right, so I scrape and then I drink hot water, or as hot as I can handle, and I try to gulp it. So I will drink 2 of these in the morning. of nice hot water before I take my supplements, before I will do anything else. Now, there are two reasons for that. Number one, you want to create that peristalsis in your body. So this warm water, gulping it as fast as you can, is going to create this peristalsis. You're going to create waves in your digestive system. Okay. Going to help you eliminate in the morning. All right.
Which is everything about the skin. Because
everything about the skin. Yes.
When I think about even my daughter, who is 12, and all the different changes that have happened in her body, that always reflects in our skin. Or for women who are going through perimenopause or high testosterone, like I've dealt with, there can be a breakout, and maybe they never had a history of that kind of acne. So it's good to get that junk out of your body so your liver can process healthy, have a great relationship with your blood sugar, have a great relationship with your hormones.
Yeah. And you don't want to like I have this thing, if I do drink before I scrape my tongue, I just have this thing, what I just re-ingest. Okay. So there's that. And then I get in a really nice hot shower. And you guys, this camera is not that great, but let's see. I don't know. I'm 55. Okay.
And that I'm always like, girl.
Yeah. So I'm 55. I want you to know that when I get in the shower, I am full on hot water, even on my face. And I have used a Clarisonic for probably 20 years. Okay. Daily, twice a day. So I full on hot water. And then here's the kicker. And this is the new thing that I've added in. And I think it's really a wonderful thing. Wim Hof. Okay. Google him. He fully suggests that you take a really cold shower. So I will go from really, really hot, which helps push that oil into my skin. Okay. So that I'm not dried out. And then I will put it on as cold as I can stand it. Now, this morning, it was really hard for me because my dog had diarrhea at 2:30 in the morning. And then I'm like, oh my gosh. So I get up at my regular time. And so it was hard. So that cold water, and you work up to it. First, it's going to start out 15 seconds. Then it's going to go to 30 seconds. And then you're going to challenge yourself, and you're going to go to where, oh, this cold, I can stand it, where you're not breathing shallow. So that's what I do every morning. And I take that shower before I go and teach hot yoga. Okay. So these things are really key. Now, I use a lot of oils on my skin too, a lot of essential oils. Did you want to talk about that? Do we have, we're at 13 minutes. How are we?
We can talk. I was going to say, as far as even the tools, I know a lot of coaches have been asking me, and even some people from like our oil team have been like, Rach, this is going on with me. You know, I see you using these like crazy fun things. So I just wanted to show you guys, I invested in this. I actually asked my husband to get me all these different gua sha tools.
I love gua sha.
For Hanukkah last year. And so he went to Living Libations and bought a bunch of different, like quartz, all different types. These, of course, I brought out for today. But this, guys, Rommy is really good at creating that sacred space. And for a person like me, I often find like I come back from work and just overwhelmed at night or in the morning, I was like rushing, and, how can I like make that? So I still am doing a practice in calming down. So I've now said, just like Rommy, it's got to be these steps. So I wanted to show you at night, this is all I do. And I also keep it at work. If I start to get stressed, I will take an oil. I'm just even going to show you. This is yarrow pom, which is antioxidant out the wazoo. And yes, I am an expensive oil lover, which this is Helichrysium. And this, guys, I've had liver and gallbladder issues. Of course, I'm not making a claim, just telling you. This I've put on my liver and my gallbladder because it's a cell regenerator. And it always just has my liver go like this. That's how it like feels.
Oh, nice.
This is the one I do because you can see from living in Florida and the many years of sun abuse, I will put this all over and then I will sit there. Easy when you're just either stressed.
I love where you're putting this right now. Okay, right here underneath these.
Yeah.
Why? Because what's there? Let's remind everybody what's here. We have a cluster of lymph nodes around here.
So when we start to get the sags, we really, and I have a few coaches who do face yoga and I'm obsessed with and I watch, it's all about, and when I was in massage school, we learned this with the body. It's all about effleurage. It's all about getting circulation because we sit there and for myself, that stress for me shows up right away in my face, right away with the bags. So I will even take this and I will sit there just pressing, giving just that cool down the bags. And then see how cute this is? Well, this is, this one, no joke, guys, you can hear the crunching if you do it on your body, making sure that you're really getting all that junk down. So we always hear about skin brushes. This is my softer one. And then I have another one that when I've gone to Russian sauna places, they're like, with you. I have another one that is a little tougher to get into that deeper toxin in the cellulite. So, but these sitting here and then being able to even do it right on that, pushing the lymph down, really getting in there.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. And you're talking about the dry skin brushing. That is amazing, you guys. Take your dry skin. Do this, Rachel. Take your skin brush and pull it away from your ear and put it over your ear like this, just flat. And then just move it. You don't even have to brush. Just move the brush, and all of those. Oh my gosh! Right,
you're right. Guys, this is right out with this woman. She has a plethora of knowledge. I will always call and be like, Rommy, okay, like, I mean, the many years I'd be like, okay, this problem, I'm having this problem. And she was like, oh, do this. And I'd be like, Rommy, you are really my yin angel for my yang.
I'm telling you, I am feeling you do that. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Well, and guys, one thing I've noticed also for myself is hands down, as much as I'm pelotoning, I'm going to make that as a verb, and as much as I'm running, and as much as I do feel that. Holy cannoli.
You just gave yourself all kinds of little acupuncture.
Look at the redness of my cheeks. And this, and I'll tell you that in a second. This, what I love is we all need collagen. So we need the antioxidants. We need the Helichrysium, which is also antimicrobial. And so even that for those pimples, that acne, that stress acne, because we know if the gut's out of balance, we're going to see that wear in our skin. And I know, despite all the amazing things I do with EBV, that gets triggered when I'm stressed, and that was the crap storm of these last few months, I also had to look at, am I active enough? And the truth was no. I mean, I'm rebounding, I'm doing all these things, but that stagnation comes from stress for me. And so these tools, when you have, or like me, where you were used to getting acupuncture every week, you can literally be your own massage therapist, and you're just going through in that lymph where all of those toxins sit. And that's also why I love also the mud. When I do an arm detox, I literally put the clay mask, and I will sit there at night, clay mask, and just very simple things, go wash it off and not have to feel like I'm not doing it, taking care of myself, because this is my night bag. These are my night oils that just sit next to, and to be able to do that, to be able to give myself a mini facial every night, also helps me to.
And it doesn't take long, does it? It actually.
Plus, you can do this. You're watching TV.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you, I love my I love my rollers. They call them Jade Rollers. They have them with different stones. Okay. But the classic is Jade. Okay. Now these Jade Rollers, I love to roll right here and especially over my eyebrows. This time of year, you guys, this is a sinus issue time of year. For me anyway. And so it feels so good right there and so good right here. But the way Rachel showed you, where you start down here, you guys, this is where you prime the pump, is down here. Okay, you start to get some circulation down here. Yeah. And then once you get this lymph moving, you can move it you can move the fluids out of the bags. Okay. And
I mean, look, even no joke, that was like 7 minutes that I was doing. I've sat there, and if you're anything like me, sometimes Rommy's really good at breath work. Like I said,
I love breath work.
I've always said, she's my yin angel. She does yoga. She does all. If you're like me, where I have a tendency to have the stress, I go into overthinking, and I will often go into stagnation. And so for me, like little tools that I can sit there and be like, it's almost like tapping. Like I need to kind of do something to calm down my breath. And these guys have been really a game changer. I mean, I know also for those of you who've been getting massages or going and having that touch, you and I have talked about this. These guys, perfect to ask your significant other, hey, do this on my back. You can really get in there. Scott every night will do yarrow palm. Then he does on guard rollerball all down my spine, melaleuca and yang lang, and then anchor, and all these really nice oils. And he does this on my back. 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
When I'm lucky.
Yes. And what a way to build intimacy into a relationship. Okay. So
and also really fun with your kids.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's such a great way to get them. I interrupted you.
Yeah. And intimacy, I love it that you mentioned your kids, because intimacy is connection. It's not sex. Okay. So intimacy into your relationship with your children, intimacy into your relationship with your beloved. Because it's so easy. My husband's working from home. Of course, I work from home most of the time if I'm not in the studio. That can really change the dynamic in the relationship. And but we're talking about anti-aging, feeling better, resiliency. If you need to have those moments of touch with people, because we do need that. Our energy, our soul actually will thrive better if we can touch people.
Well, and I love that you bring that up, because I said to Scott, I think it was like 2 months ago, and we've always worked from home together. And I said, I just feel like we have no time. And he said to me, what are you talking about, honey? Like, if anything, we have so much time. And I said, then maybe I need to actually reframe that. I think that I don't feel like there's separated time, because, we've had our younger one, like in our bed in the beginning. And it was a lot of transition for them. And it definitely added these extra elements to our life. And so when I said, can we do this every night? Instead of it, like, oh my God, can you do this? And I said to him, I think it's that I need more space for us to know that, like, we have this little time together. And that really kind of helped, to carve out something that is special. And I will say, as far as the tools, growing up in this business, and my kids were a huge why I got into oils, because like you, I was petrified of just how much stuff we had passed on. I was really with how much stuff, how much toxic load, and teaching them very early on with like these little skin brushes and all these these little tools that like put the power back into their hands and made it like fun. Like, oh, mommy, let me do this. Let me use this cup. These moving cups, like making it really simple to bring into their life became second habit.
Yeah. So we've gone over a lot of things. We've talked about skin brushing, gua sha, using oils, taking the hot shower, tongue scraping, hot water,
contrast showering.
We've talked about a lot of things, you guys. This is if I was going to give you some advice about what to do here, choose the one that you're like, oh, that one sounds fun. Okay, choose that one. All right. And add that in. Because if you add all of this in all at once, you'll stop. Okay.
Unless you're like me, where I think I love kind of adding all those things, but I would say 100%, choose one, make it consistent, because the one thing
yes.
know from working with tons of different people, all different time constraints, all different personalities, is guys, we often say, oh, I'm going to do that. And then we feel it's overwhelming. So I always say, add one thing into a habit, solidify it, make it fun, make it doable, and don't like overwhelm self to the point that you're like, oh, I'm such a failure. It's not about that at all.
Right. And I'm going to tell you, everything that we have shared with you, you can't do any of it wrong. Okay. There are optimals. Okay. There are optimal ways of doing it. But the thing is, you really can't do them wrong. So there's none of this perfection that you've got to aspire to. Okay. This is all you're doing is you are learning to love yourself, love your skin, love your body. This skin on the outside is a direct reflection of the skin on the inside. Okay. A direct reflection on the digestive system, but also you have a digestive system inside your head. Okay. And so what you're seeing on the outside is a direct reflection of how you're handling stress. Okay. You will never beat stress. You'll never beat it. You can learn to handle it differently. Okay. So you can learn to actually stress less over stress. But, and when Rachel's great at this, she's like, okay, I'm stressed. I know I'm stressed. What do I do?
Where's my trick? And I think that's the part that I would say, in closing, guys, is I know a lot of this can seem overwhelming, but the one thing that I've learned is I thrive when I have like tools. I just thrive when I'm like, okay, this is what I'm going to do because I feel stressed, or this is what I'm going to do because I can't catch my breath. And to step into that intuition and that faith, because we do live in a world where we think, I'm doing it wrong, am I not doing it right? And when I started learning that I didn't have to know everything, but I had to let those oils be that intuitive flow, it was much easier to then add in these layers, because I didn't feel that I needed to know everything. I just needed to know what were the key things that worked for my body, what were the things that I needed, where were my blockages, what were the things that I wanted to add in and to boost. So anyway, guys, it's been a pleasure to be here with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I've enjoyed this. So great to see you.
I know. I thought, wow, this is like how we talk on the phone. And so I thought, who wouldn't want to have that kind of like open conversation of, these things that really happen behind the scenes.
Yeah. Thank you. And if you have any questions, you can ask either one of us. Okay. And thanks, Rachel. So good to see you.
It's so good to see you.
I love you dearly. And I'm going to tell, pardon me?
There's all like redness. That's good.
Yeah. It's you're bringing circulation back in. That's what you're doing. I love you. I'll talk to you soon. Okay.
Bye, guys. Have a beautiful one. As you go into the holiday season, just grab your Zen, create boundaries for anything that doesn't feed into that, and just love yourself to pieces.
Yeah.
We will see you guys later.
When you love yourself, you can love other people. Okay.
And then you glow. And then you don't feel like caca.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Guys,
All right. All right.
Bye.
Bye. See you guys.